set.
This will be the 9th matchup versus ranked opponents for the Cal Bears as we get underway right now. Stanford starting off strong, and it's Erica Sayer, the freshman middle blocker, gets things going for the Cardinal.
And we see sophomore setter Logan Tusher going back to serve. And something that's been very different, a different look for the Cardinal. She came in as a starting setter this past week. They lost Logan Parks out with injury right now for the Cardinal. So you're seeing Stanford adjust in real time to a completely different setter. Tusher was a beach player, so for her coming indoor, it's a big transition.
1-1 as the Cal Bears tally that second point. It was Sophie Scott who got the touch. And then immediately that serve sails out of bounds. So Cardinal will be up 2-1 to start. Heading back for the serve is number 7, Julia Blashoff, who we've already spoken about today, the redshirt sophomore outside hitter. They'll serve 2-1, Cardinal in the lead, make it 3-1.
She has a rocket of a serve. It's like this hybrid jump serve. It's not quite a full topspin jump serve and not quite a float. It's right in between, and it's so tough to pass for the Bears.
16 serving aces coming into today. Well received by the Bears. Back set, blocked at the net, taken care of. Carbonara, yes! Freshman gets going.
See Carbonara coming in, and as she goes to take a swing there, takes a little bit off of it, but has a little bit of roll on that ball, and that lands on the floor in the middle.
I mentioned this was the 9th matchup against ranked opponents for the Bears. That one win that we mentioned was back in October, on October 16th. It was a 5-set reverse sweep over number 14, Miami. As, who else? The 2-time All-American, Hillia Rubin, gets going.
Rubin, another player. I know I talked about Blashoff in the beginning of this match and how fast she is at the net, but Rubin, that is someone with a lot of speed. I mean, she comes in, and the way she's able to cut the ball around the block, one of the best in the country.
2025 AVCA Player of the Year watch list, and the Bears, this is exactly what Kevin Hambley spoke about. It's 4-3 right now. Cardinal are in the lead, but the Bears looking very different than they did on Wednesday already.
And also for the Bears, as I mentioned earlier, wanting to raise that team hitting percentage. We're seeing them already, and they're starting out with a very clean match in this moment too.
Off the net, returned in a weird way. Bears and Phils. Now once again, Phils blocked at the net. Bears will set up again. Back set, Hayden.
A net for the Cardinals, so that point goes back to the Bears.
4-4 now, all locked up, as it will be number 14, Elise Lau, back to serve for the Cal Bears. Locked at 4 here in set number 1, the second of 2. Back-to-back matchups, so hard to play the same squad back-to-back, as now Jordan Harvey gets going.
Harvey with a nice swing, cross court to the corner. Such a great spot as a hitter. If you can find space back there, it is so hard to defend.
Here's the setup. Phils getting going early. She likes to play the Cardinal, it seems.
I'm already really liking this matchup today. It's already a lot more even than what we saw on Wednesday. And I've talked about this before, but the Cardinal, they are just such a fast team. And when I say fast, they put their foot on the gas and they do not let up. And so this is a team that you have to stay with them the entire time.
Locked at 5 here as we've got a bit of a rally going. And who else? Once again, it's Hillia Rubin. And this is what's so dangerous and what's so hard to defend, this Stanford Cardinal team. It's not just one player who can make a difference. It's not just 2 players, but you look across the board, so many players are such high impact players.
A very well-rounded team for the Cardinal, and players that can do everything. So I talked about Blashoff being all around. We obviously know Rubin is all around. She's second on the team in Tiggs. When you even think about the defense there, and all of them are so capable at every place on the court.
Locked at 6 apiece here in the first set. It will be number 22, the freshman setter, Maria Stierbu with the serve. Here's the setup. Blashoff gets it over. Blocked at the net is Scott. Here come the Bears and Phils. All the way over to Blashoff again. We've got a rally going here at Haas. Here's the set. Blashoff 3 times in a row. Bears are able to control it now. Sophie Scott, did it touch the line? Yes, it did.
Some shock there as some of the Cardinal players not sure if that was in, but that point will go to Cal. So we'll take a look at this replay. Sophie Scott goes up. That ball landing on the line. So a point for her. She's come in the starting role in the middle and took over for Sawyer Thompson, who went out with injury a few weeks ago.
Bears in the lead now for the first time today, 7-6, make it 7-7. Stanford to equalize there. Kevin Hambley said also when we were talking about playing the same team back-to-back, it's actually harder to go on the road for the second. He said we would like to come home for the second one, so that even makes it harder. Obviously, tactically it's one thing, but emotionally it's even harder because he wants to think of it as 6 straight sets. We're not just playing 3 sets and 3 sets, it's 6 straight sets, and that makes it really difficult, and we can see why. Dominique Phils once again gets on the board for the Bears.
Phil's coming in, and she's someone that we normally see that can hit very hard and usually takes a big swing, but the last couple of plays really showing something different for the Cardinal with these tips and off-speed shots.
Bears taking their second lead of the day, 8-7. That'll sail long. It'll be 8-8. That seems to be the story so far. Bears are able to keep up with the Cardinal, maybe pull ahead by 1, but they can't quite make a run of their own yet, Nayaz. Cardinal will serve it up, 8-8. Scott. Well read, Blashoff. Blashoff gets the point.
The serves from the Cardinal are so good, and you're seeing that in the serve receive from the Bears. A lot of these passes are tired to the net, so Stierbu really not able to set. She's really trying to save the ball from going over on a few of these. So if they can try to maybe take a step back, pull off a little bit, keep the ball a little bit off the net so that Stierbu can try to run some more in-tempo setting to the players. But so far, the outside hitters and the pins making some good adjustments when they need to. As I said, the off-speed shots have been working well for them as the ball almost sails over to us.
Comes our direction.
In that play.
I'm counting on you to save us as the former player.
I was looking at the coffee sitting there. I'm like, oh, please don't hit that.
We're going to take a timeout. Cal Bears calling a timeout. It's 11-8. Stanford Cardinal in the lead. Coach Kevin Hambley, and it's been a good start, Naya, for both teams. Stanford hitting .556. And the Cal Bears hitting .500.
So efficient right now for both teams as we see Carbonara come in for a big kill. And a young player that has really stepped up in the last month for the Bears. She has come in and really come out swinging. She has led the team in kills in the last few matches, other than Wednesday when Phils led that day. But for Carbonara, she is someone that comes in with so much fire. And as I'm speaking about that, Harvey on the other side with a huge swing coming in the middle to take a big swing there straight down.
Jordan Harvey, 2024 AVCA All-Pacific Region All-ACC second team. She was this year's preseason All-ACC team. It'll be Julia Blashoff, the redshirt sophomore, with the service ace.
And as we were talking about to start this match, I was saying Stanford now, they're trying to pull away, as we can see a little bit, but still very even on both sides, and both teams playing very well today, playing clean, and the energy is so even in here. It's very competitive on both sides.
Here's the set. Carbonara with a roll shot, well placed. We're starting to see that vision from Carbonara that we know she has.
Coming in now, Popescu. So we'll take a look here. Nice shot over the top of the block. It's been really great to see Carbonara changing up her shots. We're seeing her learn in real time different things that can work for her on the net.
Francesca Popescu leading the Cal Bears in service aces, serves that up. Returned and blocked, and now once again here come the Cardinal. Third time's the charm, perhaps. They'll just send it over. Here's the set, Hayden, blocked at the net.
Tough play there for Hayden as she tries to get on it. Could see a little bit of hesitation as she came around for that slide attack. I think it was just timing. You see her and Stierbu talking about it right now. But a huge block for her out of the middle in that play. That was huge. She literally was defending on every side of the court in that last play.
Spencer Etzler, freshman with the serve. Tough ball, well handled by both Stierbu and Hayden.
Stierbu saving that ball as it was going close to the net and really over the net, able to get that back to Hayden, and she comes in, sees that her angle's taken away by the block and decides to tip. Really smart play for the middle blocker.
This will be freshman Elise Lau coming in for the serve once again. Here's the return from the Cardinal, the set. Rubin dug up well by Johnson. Fills now, Dominique Fills, and Haas Pavilion is really enjoying that one.
Fills, her third kill in the set already. A big swing there, and she's so far off the net, still finding space on that cross-court shot.
Lau once again with the serve. There's a setup for the Cardinal. Back set, Harvey, just wide.
That was a touch there. So she gets that point. And that was the way she was able to hang in there. It's why we call her Air Jordan. The way she's able to get up, take a big swing.
Jordan Harvey can really do it all. It's handling there her 32nd service ace on the season. Second for this Cardinal squad in service aces. Third in points, third in kills, third in blocks. Junior out of Salt Lake City, Utah, does do it all. Hayden blocked at the net on the right side.
The Cardinal are doing a really, really good job defending that slide attack for Hayden. It's one of her best. So I know in a tough moment right now trying to get that going, but the block is tough, and it's tough when you have 6'5" Lizzie Andrew in front of you as well.
I was just about to say Lizzie Andrew standing tall at 6'5". Blocks that one. Phils will try again. There's the set. Rubin flying through the air and can't quite keep it in.
So that point to the Cardinal as Sophie Scott comes back in. She had 4 blocks on Wednesday.
Here's Hayden with the serve for the Bears. Bears staying in it, just 4 points behind, make it 5.
You see Tusher going back to Rubin. She's like, okay, you missed that last one. I'm going to get you this ball again so you can aim for the same spot and score. And that is just how efficient she is as a hitter.
Now, you said you could really see the Stanford Cardinal on Wednesday adjust in real time to a new setter in Tusher. For those who don't know, obviously, the setter running the whole offense. How is her different form and her different set really affecting the Stanford Cardinal team and the hitters?
Well, the difference with Tusher and Parks, you're seeing it. Parks is so fast when she sets the ball, when it comes out of her hands, the way that she gets the ball to her players. And so for all the hitters, for Tusher, the ball hangs a little bit more in the air. So she leaves them a little bit more time, a little bit more space. And so that, for the hitters, just means adjusting in the way that they approach. Still going fast. By any means, they're always going to go fast. But it's something that we're seeing, and so you have those moments. But I mean, honestly, even with a big change in both of those setters, you wouldn't even be able to tell. From anyone else that's watching, it may not be the easiest to tell that that's a huge difference. And that's just how good the Cardinal are at adjusting.
Certainly impressive as the Cal Bears tally another point. That one, Maria Stierbu on the serve, the freshman setter. Speaking of setters, with the service right now, once again, for the Cal Bears, leading this team in assists, of course, 8th in the ACC in assists per set. Back set, Andrew, 6'5", gets it done.
That slide from Andrew down the line. And a big swing for her. She had 9 kills and hit 600, no errors in the match on Wednesday. So talk about high efficiency, and she is one of the top in the ACC and in the country.
Coco Kirsch with the serve into the net. Bears will stay in this, down by 4. They'll be chasing this set now. Making some substitutions. It'll be Carbonara to re-enter along with Peyton Desjardins, who will be back to serve. Jordan, senior outside hitter out of Pasadena, California, leading this team in kills. Played all 3 sets on Wednesday, had just 3 kills and 3 hitting errors for the Bears. Left side, Blashoff.
They will give Stanford that touch on the swing from Blashoff. She's really good at that, just finding high hands, the tip of the fingers on those swings.
Setter, sophomore Logan Tusher with the serve. Bears will try to respond. Carbonara blocked at the net.
Tough play there, that out-of-system set right in the blocker's hands for the Cardinals. So Carbonara trying to get there, but really the ball beat her to the hands before she could actually get to it. She is a setter that is really, really aggressive at the net. I mean, multiple ACC weekly selections and accolades for Logan Parks. And on the other side, I talked about Carbonara earlier. Her coming in on the outside, another young player for the Bears that has been so good for them over the last month and has really taken off. We're seeing that in real time as she gains a lot of confidence on the floor and just plays with so much confidence at the net.
2 points away from set point are the Stanford Cardinal. And you think about all the youth, it seems to be a trend across the nation, actually. So much youth stepping up, not just on these 2 teams, but across the board, across women's volleyball. It really just speaks to the growth of girls volleyball and youth volleyball. It's the #1 youth sport in the nation, the #1 high school sport for girls. Seems to be perhaps why we see so much talent coming in, ready to play. As freshmen, we got a rally here. Carbonara trying to finish it off. Harvey for the Cardinal. Carbonara will get it back over. Here's the setup. Harvey will try again. Tipped at the net. Looks like a net violation.
Tough one. Always tough to have a net violation in a really battle of a rally there. That point to the Cardinal. And as you were mentioning, just the youth around the U.S. and the growth of volleyball, you know, even during my time playing in college and playing professionally, I think it also helps that now we have multiple professional leagues here in the U.S. And so not only has that growth it's been exponential over the last really 7 years, but now it is just skyrocketing because the visibility is now here. You know, when I was in college, we didn't have that option to be able to see professional volleyball and to be able to see those players go from the college game into the pro space. And so now you have that.
Love to see the growth. This is set point once again for the Stanford Cardinal. Well dug up by Johnson. Carbonara. Tusher with the back set. Harvey. Johnson able to dig it up, but the Cal Bears can't quite make it happen, and that will be set point for the Stanford Cardinal, who take set #1, 25-18 over the Cal Bears. We're going to step away and through. They seem to have flipped a switch.
Stanford absolutely took off, as they do, toward the end. But even still, the Bears really battled, and it was a better game for them, really was a better set for them as far as hitting efficiency. So that was what I talked about in the beginning that they would have to do to stay in it with the Cardinal, and they did try to do that, and they did do that. Hit 231 in that last set, 458 for the Cardinal. It's something that they'll have to really push forward as we see an almost point there from Scott, but the resiliency of the Cardinal on defense, keeping that ball in play.
Carbonara was blocked at the net. It'll stay in bounds. Stanford Cardinal point. They do just play so quickly as Logan Tusher will head back to the service line. Sophomore setter stepping in. Lee gets the touch on it. Net violation on the Stanford Cardinal side. The point will go to the Bears.
Somewhat similar to that first set. A couple of unforced errors in the first few points in the beginning.
We talked about the ACC and just how many teams, 6 in the top 25, 4 in the top 10. 9 ACC teams made the NCAA tournament last year. Almost a dig there for Maria Stierbu, but couldn't quite get there. 2 out of 4 of those teams are in the Final Four were ACC teams. Penn State won, beating Louisville, an ACC team 3-1 in that final. So much returning talent.
And we talked with Coach Hambly about this in pregame, and he mentioned that recent loss to SMU and how tough that was because of where it puts them for the tournament. He mentioned, that loss, they are very confident most likely will not be able to host third and fourth rounds of the tournament, but we know that they're set up in a very good spot to be able to host the first and second round of the NCAA tournament.
Leia Rubin sails that long. You can see the disappointment on her face right there. And Stanford actually concluding the regular season at Louisville. Speaking of, that is a rivalry that seems like it's just continuing to grow and grow. Speaking of Stanford hosting versus not hosting, last year they were hosting all the way up until the regionals. They had to head to Louisville, and that's what ended up ending their season as they went to Louisville and lost. And that will be the match that concludes the Stanford Cardinal regular season. They'll be home against Georgia Tech on Wednesday, and then they'll conclude at Louisville. The Bears home for one more match after this on Wednesday, and then they'll head out on the road at Duke to conclude. But again, you have to go through either of these two teams first. 4-2, Stanford Cardinal in the lead, 1-0. Up now by just 1 point here in the second set. Once again, Cal hanging around, battling this Stanford Cardinal team much better than we saw on Wednesday. And how much of a role does getting Arissa Carbonara going play into that, Naya?
I mean, Carbonara, 5 kills, hitting over 300 right now. She is doing so well for the Bears in that spot, coming in and really making a difference.
Here's the back set. Hayden dug up well. Rubin, did it get a tip? Yes, it did.
That point to the Cardinal, but Hayden getting a swing on that ball. It's been a little bit tough in the first set, getting the slide going between her and Stierbu, but Blashoff, filling the hole and coming in for that dig on the defense.
Phils gets it over. Blashoff. Here's the set. Tusher to Rubin. Rubin gets the touch on it.
And you can see Rubin adjusting mid-air in real time. I talked about the difference between Parks and Tusher. Tusher coming in. This is a player that also played beach, and you can kind of see it in the way that she sets. As I mentioned earlier, the ball just has a little bit more of a hang time. It has a little more of a loop and not the same speed, obviously, as Parks. And so Rubin adjusting to that. She's a player that likes to go really, really fast at the net, but still finding a way to score, even with the difference in setting. And it's something that they're going to work on. Tusher really only coming in this past week. It's all brand new for the Cardinal. But as we talked about with Coach Hambly before the match, this is also good for her because who knows? We know Parks, you hope that she comes back for the tournament, but you still need to be ready on all fronts.
Kayla Hayden, who made that last point look a little too easy. 8th all-time in Cal in career blocks. She'll serve that. It'll go into the net, right back to the Stanford Cardinal. That's something you mentioned that Cal really needs to clean up. They'll win the point, they'll get the serve, and then there will be a service error immediately following 3-4 times now.
Yeah, and it's very tough to continue to push and have momentum with those errors, and it always is hard with serves because you want to put a lot on it. You want to have the other team struggle on serve receive, but sometimes that is at the expense of service errors.
Lizzie Andrew.
That was a bomb from Andrew. You heard the collective ooze in the crowd after she hit that ball so hard across court.
First in hitting percentage on this Stanford Cardinal team. You won't believe this number when I say it because it does feel like a video game number. She's hitting .446 on the season coming into today. First in the ACC, if that needs to be mentioned. That one tallies for the Cal Bears, as we see here. .446 hitting percentage, 4th in all of Division I, first in the ACC. As we get a shot here of Lizzie Andrew, number 11, standing at 5'6", middle blocker, leading this team in blocks as well, 10th in the ACC in blocks. Freshman Stierbu sends that one into the net.
As you mentioned, Lizzie Andrew, Sophie Scott in the play before this last one, coming back with an answer of her own, having to move around her, as we said, 6'5" in the middle. Someone that you have to find space around. You cannot go through Lizzie Andrew.
Averaging 2.48 kills per set, 1.19 blocks per set. Phils. Rubin gets the dig. Cardinal will send it over. Yes! Ashley Lee does it herself.
a tough and uncharacteristic error from the Cardinal there as Blashoff tries to save that ball, but no hitter available in that last play, so she just tries to put it somewhere, but unfortunately sending that right over for the Cardinal to be able to take advantage at the net.
Looked almost like Blashoff changed her mind, like she maybe was going to try to bump set it. Instead, try to send it over. It ended up being a bad in between of them both. Now, once again, the Cardinal will just get it over. Lee with the set. Scott, yes, Sophie Scott.
And here is the changing tide. We talked about this earlier, and I mentioned the energy between both of these teams. So Scott with the ball kind of off speed. I know they're working on their timing with Stierbu and the difference with the different middle coming in, but that ball is successful for the Bears.
It worked out indeed. Blashoff blasts off and gets the point. I had to get that in there once. It's a little too easy.
I was waiting for one of her big swings where we usually like to say that.
Julia Blashoff. Saw a shot of her there. This will be Logan Tusher, the sophomore setter, with the serve once again. Goal received by the Bears. Here's the set. Carbonara comes flying in. Desjardins gets the dig. Carbonara blocked again, and it's just Tusher who will do it herself.
No one ready on the defense for that little tap from Sayre, sending that ball back over. Oh, they were gonna call a timeout, but I think maybe not in enough time. So we're back on the floor. Not really sure what happened there, but we will continue play here.
You mentioned Sayre wearing the number 22, two-time ACC Freshman of the Week. It's a good dig right there. Here's set Harvey to Blashoff, out of bounds. Blashoff thinks she got a touch on that. You might see a challenge from Kevin Hambley.
They're gonna look for a challenge. The way she hit that one, I'm actually not sure. That was so fast. So I wasn't able to tell, at least from my angle, if that was a touch off the top of the hands. So we will see on the challenge if she was able to get some fingers there.
Kevin Hambley's going to listen to his player. Julia Blashoff was certainly stunned. The initial ruling, as you see here, is that there was no touch, which means that the challenge is that there was a touch. A reminder that each coach gets 2 challenges. If you challenge and you get it right, you keep your challenge. As we'll get a look here. Great shot at the net. Looking at those fingers, Naya.
So that play, it looked like it was right above, literally a hair above Ashley Lee's, the tip of her middle finger there. So it'll be interesting to see what the refs feel like they saw on that play. To me, that looked like it was just right over, not quite. And usually we're looking for a finger to move on a touch like that.
Perfect view. You can't really get much better than that.
That was right on the block.
Yeah, so close to the camera at the net. Our officials, Stacey DeWitt, Brian Brink, Donald Turin, and Matt Amaro will take a look at this. They don't have an easy job as we get another look here, different angle.
Doesn't look like a finger was moving on that one.
And you can hear the roar of Haas Pavilion. They're seeing this exact replay.
Yeah, that looks like a no touch. Very close, but.
Well, the fans here at Haas Pavilion certainly think that there was no touch. We were going to get our ruling in right now.
Take one more look at this here. I don't see a finger moving, so I think this will be a no touch, and that Cal will get that point. So good effort, but unfortunately Stanford losing that challenge, so they do not get to keep that challenge. It's part of the ruling too. You get to retain your challenge if you win. So unfortunate one for the Cardinal here.
Still in the lead by 3 points. Stanford 11, Bears 8. Harvey blocked at the net. Harvey again on the second opportunity. Here's the setup from Johnson. Carbonara. Stanford and Blashoff making things difficult for the Bears, but they'll return it, and Lee. Back set. Harvey blocked at the net. And it will be a combination of Carbonara and Hayden to get that block for the Bears.
What a big block for the Bears. And Harvey is someone that we really don't see get blocked very often. She literally can hit sometimes over the block. So a huge pivotal play there for the Bears.
Sophia Johnson once again on the serve for the Bears. Far set, Julia Blashoff. Set up now, Carbonara, the freshman.
Oh, Ruben follows that ball all the way out to the line on the back row defense to make sure that landed out, but a good effort there from Carbonara trying to turn that ball, almost kind of like a roll shot down the line, just misses.
Not a bad idea. From this terrible angle that we have, it looked in, but obviously not the angle you need, and that, a beautiful serve from Julia Blashoff tallies the point for the Cardinal.
I talked about her serve and how it's this in-between hybrid where the toss is like a normal float serve, but she has a spin on it once she goes to make contact with the ball. It's a very, very tough serve.
Blashoff again. Johnson with the dig, Hayden.
Hayden finding space in the middle there. She goes up and moves that ball around the block. So no one on the Cardinal was there on the defense and ready for that.
It will be another freshman, this time Francesca Popescu leading the Cal Bears in aces, 26 serving aces coming into today. That one goes into the net.
Tough play there. I kind of talked about that momentum swing here, and you mentioned that earlier about the service errors for the Bears. It's something for them that's really, really pivotal here to stay in this with the Cardinal. You don't want to give them a lead any more than they already have. As I said, they like to take off and run, and then it's hard to catch back up with this team. So when they have those momentum swings, being able to keep those balls in, put pressure on the serve receive, and stay in it.
Tough serve receive right there as the Bears can't keep it in. It'll be a point to the Stanford Cardinal and a timeout. Stanford.
They end the season, maybe they end the regular season all tied.
We're back here. The action going at Haas Pavilion, and Carbonara gets going right out of break.
Carbonara with a huge swing, and she has so much power behind her swings too when she gets on top of the ball.
It will be number 14, the freshman defensive specialist Elise Lau. 3 service aces on the season. She will serve here for the Bears. Down by 4 points. Rubin denied at the net. Harvey. Now the Bears will get their opportunity. Fills. Here's the set. Rubin again. Once again denied. The Bears seem to have Rubin's number, and they get that point.
When we came into the second set, I mentioned one of the biggest differences between these two teams was not only the offense, as we talked about hitting percentages, but also the defense. The Cardinal, they had 4 blocks in the first set, and so now Cal changing the tide with 2 major blocks in the last few plays.
Lau with the serve once again. Back set. Harvey. And she'll get the point for the Cardinal. Jordan Harvey comes up big.
For the Bears, even though they lost that point, it's a big deal to have Harvey wanting to use the block and tip instead of hitting. That's how good they're doing right now on closing the block and getting all the way out to the line on her.
Some big adjustments we've seen from the Bears. Jordan Harvey, no adjustments needed on that serve as she tallies another service ace. 33rd now on the season, second already of the day. We're gonna get a timeout on the court here. No surprise. Cal taking this timeout, trying to break up some of the momentum. Naya, this feels like an ever important set for the Bears. You can't let Stanford get up to 2-0 lead in sets.
This right now is exactly what Coach Hambly talked about in the beginning of this match, that he knew that the Bears were going to come out swinging. He knew that they were going to play even better today than they did because they're at home. And for them, this moment, he wants to pull the team together. How do we continue to be more efficient on our side? How do we clean it up and make sure we stay in the lead? The twin, as I like to joke, is Blashoff. And Blashoff, a redshirt sophomore, as you mentioned, will be around for a little bit longer with the Cardinal. So much talent, so much young talent over the next few years at Stanford, and a big play there. Both teams, some great defense on both sides, trying to keep that ball alive on the Bears side.
Just couldn't quite get to it was Lee. That point will go to the Cardinal. Coming out of bait or break, Bears can't quite take care of the business that they wanted to. They'll try now. Phil's blocked. A combination of Tusher and Andrew.
So coming out of that timeout, we can imagine what the Cardinal talked about in the timeout before the last play ended, and we're seeing it here, coming in and immediately foot on the gas and really going after it, causing the Bears to make a few more unforced errors than they would have liked.
Harvey on a big serving run right now for the Cardinal. I'll try to get this back over. A little miscommunication. Blashoff will just make sure it gets over the net. Here's the set. Desjardins. That one sails wide.
It's a tough swing there. And you're way outside of the net on that last play, and so wanting to take a swing, but not really aiming for the hands there.
Well, Stanford Cardinal in the lead. The football version of this, the big spike. Stanford taking the axe. We're all set here. Back in Berkeley. A great save. Diving for it was Etzler. Now the Bears looking for the return. Hayden gets the touch on it.
Hayden finally getting that swing that she's been looking for on the slide there. She will take that point. See her come around for that ball. A great set from Stierbu. She finds space cross court. Some space open on that block.
Well, the Bears have work to do, down by 7 now in this second set. Rubin.
Rubin is so good at finding space underneath the hand sometimes. She's done that so many times where she goes up and either gets literally just the tips of the fingers in that inside hand, but also that ball just goes straight down. You can't even try to recover a ball like that.
Rubin will serve. Stanford Cardinals seem to just get more and more powerful the more pressure gets put on them. They're trying to close out this second set. Looking for that quick swing. Sophie Scott can't quite keep it in.
Tough one there. That ball just a little too low from Stierbu to Scott. It's also a tall middle, so needing that ball just a little bit higher so she can take a swing on it.
Rubin once again, 22-13. Cardinal in the lead, returned immediately. Back set, Andrew. Blocked by Desjardins. They'll try again. This time Blashoff sends it long.
And although Cal, you look at the stats, you think they're not really blocking as much as Stanford. Obviously 6 blocks for the Cardinal to Cal's 1 block, but what they are doing is at least getting stops in the play. So even though these aren't stuff blocks, there have been so many plays, especially in this set, where they are slowing down the Cardinals' offense.
Certainly good signs for the Cal Bears. Here's the setup, Blashoff. Johnson receives it, back set, Stierbu to Lee. Lee gets a touch on it. Set dump, taken care of. Here's the back set once again, Lee. Another rally going here. Blashoff. Desjardins blocked.
Huge block there from the Cardinal. Ashley Lee took that big swing down the line, but as you said, Etzler coming in and getting a great dig. So once that ball's back over to Desjardins, trying to take a huge rip, but that's a huge block there in front of her. So not able to find the floor as the Cardinal are getting close here to the end of the second set.
Coco Kirsch with the serve that time. Attempt by Lee, hits the net, sails out of bounds, and it will be a Stanford Cardinal point. Now set point for the Cardinal, 24-14.
Coco Kirsch is back to serve, someone that comes in for the Cardinal as a serving specialist and a DS. She has a great serve as well.
I want a difficult ball for Scott to handle. She does what she can to get it over, but it doesn't fall in, and it's the Stanford Cardinal who takes set 2. They're in the lead, 2-0 right now over the Cal Bears. Will step 1 win that they had of those previous 8 is a 5-set reverse sweep over number 14 Miami. That was here at Haas Pavilion. That was their first ranked win since the 2020-2021 season. That one was number 15. Guess what? Stanford Cardinal. So stranger things have happened, and certainly stranger things have happened in this gym. As we mentioned, this is the 99th meeting all-time between these two teams. Stanford has won 86 of them. Cal Bears, 12 of them. The last win, that 2021 win that we just mentioned over the ranked, at the time, number 15 Stanford Cardinal. So Stanford off to a hot start already in set 3, but Carbonara has something to say about that. Tallies the first point for the Bears in this third set.
Another rare miss and mistake for the Cardinal, not going up for that ball. She has no block. Carbonara goes up and takes a huge swing straight down the line.
Here come the Cardinal, just doing what she can to get it over with Sayer. Back set, Lee flying through the air is blocked. Johnson gets it to Carbonara. Here's a setup for Blashoff. Another great rally. Cardinal and Harvey will get it over. Well received by Lee. Stierbu. Back and forth we go. Stierbu with the set again. This time Carbonara. Did it get a touch?
That point will go to the Bears. A big touch there on that swing from Carbonara. And a longer rally with both teams on the defense there, keeping the ball alive.
Johnson with the serve. Left side, Blashoff. Out of bounds.
So that ball back to the Bears. Blashoff trying to find space there on that swing. Doesn't hit the corner like she was hoping to.
Johnson with the serve again. Harvey with the bat set. Blashoff again. Desjardins gets there. Johnson gets it over.
The hustle play there from the Bears, but Sayer comes in to end it with a huge swing from the middle blocker.
A statement swing indeed. We get a look here.
She takes off to get that ball. A great save. Perfect ball right to the libero. Exactly where you want it to go.
Hayden. Kayla Hayden.
You can see Stierbu trying to establish Hayden early in this third set. We noticed in the first 2 sets, Hayden normally so good. She's second on the team in kills right behind Desjardins. And she's someone that Stierbu really does rely on to keep the offense going, but the Cardinal did a great job with defending her in the first 2 sets, but now we're seeing her really come alive here. And it's the battle of the middles as now Sayer comes back with a point of her own, hitting that ball straight down.
Speaking of coming alive, we've been seeing a lot more of the freshman middle blocker, Erica Sayer, mentioned second in blocks on this Stanford Cardinal team. 2-time ACC Freshman of the Week. She'll take a quick break right now. Locked at 4 here in the third set. Carbonara. Lost in the air by both Andrew and Jordan Harvey.
A couple of miscommunication and moments and little errors for the Cardinal in these last few points. Tough one. It's always tough when that ball's flying over your head. It always happens, and every volleyball player knows that is one of the worst. You're like, look up, look where.
Lau with the serve. Here's a set. Harvey. Kayla Hayden and Dominique Fills.
Huge block there on Jordan Harvey. So I talked earlier about that momentum swing, and we're seeing it. The Bears now in the lead in this third set.
Here's a set. Rubin. That one's in. When in doubt, go to Elia Rubin, 2-time All-American. Comes up big when the Cardinal need her to the most.
Leading her team in kills. Such high efficiency there, but unfortunate missed serve there. So an error for the Cardinal.
Uncharacteristic there for Jordan Harvey. Mentioned back to Elia Rubin. We mentioned the 2-time All-American, leading the team in points and kills and service aces. She's third on the Stanford career aces list, by the way. She truly is an all-around player. She can do it all. Last year, ACC first team, All-American first team. This year, AVCA Player of the Year watch list, and she will serve right now for the Cardinal. senior outside hitter from Santa Monica, California, brings so much leadership to this squad. Phils on the other side. Now here's the set. Andrew. It'll be returned. It'll be Phils again. There's the set from Harvey. Blashoff gets that in.
I mean, look at the way that Blashoff swings there. And so intentional about where she is trying to go. You see her in that wrist away. She swings across the top of the hands and to that corner. And she is so efficient and so good at really literally finding the back line when she swings.
Phils, did she keep it in? She did.
Great swing down the line there for Phils as she turns that ball. We see her come in. And that's that out of system set right down on the side of the arm of Tusher on the block. So a great swing for Phils.
It'll be freshman setter Maria Stierbu on the serve into the net. Point to the Stanford Cardinal.
Service aces for both of these teams. That's Cal's 8th. And even for the Cardinals, 6th. So both teams really trying to challenge each other. A few more missed serves than they would like. But we can see the pressure that they're putting on each other on the serve receive, especially for the Cardinal. They're all so many good servers on that team.
10 service aces today for the Stanford Cardinal as a team. As Ashley Lee, the junior outside hitter, has certainly gotten going here for the Bears.
Big change for Lee here. It was a little more quiet in the last few sets. Cardinal did a good job defending her when swinging, but now, as you just mentioned, starting to really find that momentum for her. She comes in and gets that point.
Desjardins with the serve. Here's Blashoff, sends it long. It's our referee who is okay. Well, we know he was standing out of bounds, and so that ball went out of bounds. That's probably not going to be a challenge, Nia.
Well, as you said earlier, Blashoff blast off, and
yeah.
she did. As she hits him, you see the ref kind of chuckling to himself there. She hit that ball very hard.
Well, we were talking before the game. It hurts. That ball is moving. Scott put some power on it herself.
Sophie Scott coming in to get her 5th kill of the match. One of her highest kill matches so far. The time that she has been coming in, filling in for Sawyer Thompson from the Bears. So another tough one, another missed serve there. It's the game of missed serves at this point.
It certainly is. That was the second lead Cal had taken in this 3rd set. Now they'll give it away. Blashoff with a big serve. Well received. Carbonara, an awkward movement, but she gets it over. Harvey herself has to adjust. Carbonara again gets the touch. Marissa Carbonara, she's in double digits now in terms of kills. Most of anybody on the court.
Hitting over 300 for Carbonara. She makes her 10th kill there. Taking a big swing off the top of the hands. That's a great swing from the freshman.
Freshman defensive specialist Francesca Popescu with the serve. Here's the set. Rubin. Well received by Johnson. Carbonara denied.
That fortunate one there. That ball almost out, but unfortunately it touches her on its way out. You see her there. A little bit of frustration because the swing was really good. Trying to hit off the hands and out, but yeah, that ball flies and does hit her, so that point will go back to the Cardinal.
Well, it'll be Etzler with the serve. And a good one at that. Spencer Etzler tallies one for the Card.
Another ace there. And the Cardinal, they have 10. Actually, now that makes 11 service aces in this match so far. That is such a high number, but it speaks to how good the servers are on Stanford's team.
It's massive. That's Etzler's first of the day, 23rd on the season, 2-time ACC Defensive Player of the Week, 1-time ACC Freshman of the Week. Joust at the net. Cal trying to tally one. Carbonara sends it long.
It's a tough one there. We're trying to change where she's hitting the ball, try to find a new spot, but that last set a little bit tough. She's off the net, trying to turn that ball down the line, but wanting to keep it high enough that she's not hitting right into the block. So just a tough play there.
Back set, Hayden blocked at the net, but it sails out of bounds. It'll be a Cal Bears point. Michaela Hayden coming up big.
Her 7th kill of the day. So really seeing that difference between her and that connection with Stierbu in this 3rd set, really on fire right now.
Cal keeping pace now with the Cardinal in this 3rd set, just behind by 1 point. Here's the serve. Set, Andrew. Popescu with the dig. Fills, tries it, and is denied. A combination of Harvey and Andrew.
The timing there on that swing from Phils as she goes up, you see her kind of take a second. I think the ball maybe wasn't as fast as she was expecting. She got on the net a little bit quicker, so that block from Stanford there, and they were completely closed, so she really didn't have anywhere to go on that last one. But on the other side, Hayden going up for that and finds space, pushing that ball down onto the floor on the outside of that Stanford block.
Senior leader, one of the few returning starters on this Cal Bears team. Her leadership certainly shines through, and she'll serve here. Bears down by 1 point, down 2 sets to none, and Andrew cross court. Well, we're going to take a break. Stanford Cardinal in the lead in this 3rd set, 15-13, leading the Cal Bears 2 sets to none. 2 sets to none, and in the lead by 2 points here in this 3rd set. It's now or never. It's do or die for the Cal Bears, Naya, who are actually hitting .318 so far in this 3rd set. They've been playing really clean. They've been playing really well, but the big number that kind of stands out other than that is the total team blocks on either side and really the discrepancy between them.
9 total team blocks for Stanford to Cal's 2 blocks. And that shows that big difference there. And also not only for the blocks, but also the aces as we see Ruben come in to get her 2nd ace of the day. But already for the Cardinal, that is 12 aces as a team in this one match. And we're only halfway through the 3rd set. So a huge discrepancy there on both. But for the Bears, still staying in it as Phils comes in to get another kill and really battling this team. So even with those discrepancies there, Cal really trying to hang with the Cardinal in this matchup.
And they certainly are. Getting the touch there. Cardinal hitting .235 in this 3rd set. Coming out of break, and Cal Bears, I mentioned, hitting .318 as a team, their best of any set so far today. Down by 2. Can the Bears creep back into this one? It's a good dig, and now Phils will try it. Out of bounds.
Tough one there. And I talked a little bit before we came out of that timeout that for the Bears, really have to stay as clean as possible. We know that the Cardinal are known for being really fast and closing matches out quickly. And for the Bears, you do not want that momentum swing to go to the Cardinal if you want to stay alive in this. As I just talked about, another ace there, and a big one for Coco Kirsch. She is someone that comes in, such a great server for the Cardinal. But as I was mentioning, and we'll see, and as I'm in, and putting the ball down, 10 kills, hitting .231 on the match so far.
We're off to the races, and this is exactly what you were talking about, Naya. Stanford can close games so quickly. Cal calling a timeout there because if the momentum starts to slip, it's gone.
And we're seeing that with how fast they are coming in here. Coco Kirsch, another ace for her. And that's already, they have 14, and excuse me, actually 15 aces for the Cardinal in this one match. And it's been very tough for the Bears to pass the ball on that serve receive. And as I was talking about those little errors, this is what you don't want against a team like this. The miscommunication, not being able to keep the ball in play. They are going to take that and they are going to run with it and they're going to close this out. And so I know for the Bears, they're trying right now. You see that. And the difference in change in momentum. I talked about the momentum swing earlier, but also just looking at the energy. Now there's a little bit more frantic energy from the Bears as they know that this is getting closer to the end.
4-0 scoring run right now for the Stanford Cardinal. That's how quickly it happens. The Bears were down by just 2, and now suddenly it's 7. Make it a 5-0 scoring run, and another timeout is called. 21-14, Stanford really trying to close this out quickly and make it 6 straight sets against the Bears. Looking to sweep again here, just 4 points away from it. Stiru gets to it, joust at the net, and it goes to the Stanford Cardinal.
As we're talking about that, I mentioned before we went to that last timeout, the differences on the serves and the serve receive for both of these teams. And we're seeing from Cal on the reception right now, 14 errors for the Bears in that space, and another one added from that last one as Coco Kirsch goes to serve. She just pushed 2 aces in the last few points before we went to that last timeout. And as a team right now for the Cardinal, 14 aces total. So that shows you what a difference that is making in this matchup. But we'll get a ball into the net there as Ipar Kirk comes in. In the beginning of this match, I talked about the difference between Kirk coming in and Blashoff. They traded off a lot pretty evenly throughout the entire season up until really the last month and a half, and seeing a little bit less of Ipar Kirk, but also a very great outside hitter and option for the Cardinal.
Last year second on the team with 3.50 kills on average per set. Pretty incredible numbers, and it will be Desjardins, senior outside hitter for the Bears, who will serve. Down 15-22 for the Cardinal. Here's the set. Carbonara gets the point.
Another big swing for the freshman, 11 kills on the day, and she just gets up and goes after it. Takes a step in, and gets her feet there to the ball, and swings for the hills, and it has just been paying off for her today.
Desjardins with the serve once again. Rubin with the reception. Here's the back set. Coming flying in, and yes, it will be the Stanford Cardinal to tally. That's Sydney Duncan, sophomore middle blocker, getting the point.
6'4" middle, getting some time on the floor here as the Cardinal are up 23 now in the third set.
Tusher with the serve. Back set. Lee. Rubin on the reception. On the far side, it's Kurt. Lee again. Out of bounds. Just like that, it's match point for the Stanford Cardinal.
Tough battle here in Haas Pavilion for the Bears. Trying to stay in this.
Here we go. Here's the serve. Here's the set. Scott tallies it. Bears live to see another point.
Scott keeping this match alive for the Bears as she comes in for her 6th kill of the match. She had 4 blocks in the last matchup on Wednesday against the Cardinal, and today coming in with 6 kills.
Match point number 2, and yes, it'll be Duncan to finish it off for the Stanford Cardinal. The sophomore middle blocker comes in, tallies 2 kills, and that'll do it. It's a sweep for the Cardinal at Maples, and then a sweep for the Cardinal in Haas Pavilion.